Hi, welcome to College Smart Strategies. Simple, three-step approach for college affordability. With this screen, this is for you to aggrandize yourself. You put your picture, your information, your background, and talk about yourself and introduce yourself to the audience. College Smart mission. We want to provide the best strategic and financial planning so families can achieve the lowest possible cost to the best possible colleges. How do we do that? We do that through providing knowledge-based solutions, reducing students and parents' loans, positively impacting retirements, which results in more resources for college. Traditional college planning vehicles. You can use stocks and bonds, but you have market risk, which means you're at the mercy of the vagaries in the market, whether the market's up, down, sideways, whatever the case is. 401ks. Not only the market risk with the ups and downs and vagaries in the market, but you also pay exorbitant fees. You have to pay 3 to 4% of your money. Whether you make money or you lose money, you still pay every year. You can use equity in your home. A lot of fees to do that. And also, who knows what your home's value is going to be? What if you get caught in a downtrend? Bank saving CDs. Two things. Taxes. You pay taxes on the interest that you make there. Also, what interest are you making? 1%, 2% at best. So you're not going to grow there. College funding plans, low returns, and they also reduce financial aid. Most of the time when we're talking about funding plans, you're talking about 529 plans. And then we're going to get more into that a little bit later. So cost of living continues to climb. So since 2000, a pound of coffee is up 53%. Rent's up 40%. Movie tickets up 95%. So what we're talking about is Consumer Price Index, or CPI. It's up 39% since 2000. So in the last 18 years, the middle class is being squeezed. So now your CPI cost is up 39% on average for other things that you use to live. But your median household income is only up 28%. So you've lost 11% of your buying power. How many times can you get squeezed? This goes almost without saying. College has become more expensive. The percentage of change between 1980 and 2014. Now the CPI is 125%, Consumer Price Index, that's inflation. College tuition has risen 248%, which is twice inflation. Once again, college has become expensive. The average annual cost of a public university is about $24,000. The average cost of a private university is about $48,000. But this is not the real cost, because you must pay for your college with after-tax dollars, making it even more expensive. The amount you must pay for college, they're in after-tax dollars. So that means simply this: assuming you're at a 28% tax bracket, school, Arizona State, is cost of attendance about $26,000 a year. So that means for 4 years, you have to earn over $153,000 to pay for school. Now, if you're going to go to a very expensive school, a private school, say New York University, NYU, that's over $70,000 per year. So you're talking about, once again, assuming a 28% tax bracket over 4 years, you're going to have to earn over $420,000 per child over 4 years. So how do you plan to pay for college? Do you deplete your savings, work 2 jobs, borrow from your home equity loans, beg from grandma and grandpa, spend down your retirements, try to qualify for financial aid? Or maybe the number one plan is go to a lesser college. There are better ways. We just need better information. And that's exactly why we're here tonight. So we have a simple 3-step approach to college affordability. 1, educate families on the best strategies to save for college and to get the most free money. 2, suggest ways families can improve cash flow and reduce their EFC. Now let's give EFC the importance that it deserves. It's expected family contribution. That's the money that you're supposed to pay out of pocket. 3, Match high gifting colleges with students' career paths. So colleges that are high gifting colleges that are right for your students. Here are some of your standard college savings plans. QTPs, 529 plans, prepaid plans, college savings plans, Coverdell education savings accounts, formerly educational IRAs, or custodial accounts like UGMAs, UTMAs, or Crummy Trust for minors. So here's an example of how 529 plans work. It's a tax advantage investment vehicle designed to encourage savings for future higher education expenses. So state tax deductions for contributions, 34 states. California is not one of those. You have after-tax contributions. Growth is tax deferred. Distribution can be tax-free only if it's used for qualified educational expenses such as tuition fees, room and board, transportation, book supplies, computers, so forth and so on. Here are some of the drawbacks to the 529 savings plan. You have to pay tax and 10% penalty for any unused funds. When I say unused, they have to be used only for educational purposes. You are subject to market risk. The vagaries of the market goes up, you make money, the market goes down, you lose. So there are higher fees and limited investment options on these strategies also. And more importantly, they negatively affect your EFC calculations, which means your expected family contribution, which you have to pay out of pocket. It affects that calculation on your FAFSA application. The entire balance is assessed at 5.64%, reducing financial aid each year. So that equals approximately 22.5% over the next 4 years that you're losing out on for student loans, grants, and scholarships. So what we have here are advanced college savings options. So the advantage of the 529, and then we have other options, we'll call that option B. So the 529 is state deductible, state tax deductible, not in California, in 34 other states. After-tax contributions, absolutely, for option B and 529. Tax-deferred growth in both. Tax and penalty-free distribution for education, absolutely for both. Owner maintains control for the 529 and option B. Can you change the beneficiary? Can you change it from child to child? In both, yes, you can, absolutely. Earn market returns? Yes, both. Now, is it free of market risk? The 529, you have the vagaries of the market. You have a risk of losing money there. Not in the option B. You can never lose money. Tax-free penalty and penalty-free distributions for whatever you want. 529, no. Option B, yes. Can you use vacation, weddings, whatever the case is you want to use it for? Absolutely an option B, not the 529. So let's say the kid's college education is paid for, gets a scholarship. Doesn't have to use the 529. Okay? You're still taxed and penalized in the 529, not in option B. More importantly, let's say you have a critical illness. You get sick, or you get hurt, you have a chronic illness, or you pass away. The option B fulfills the college education being paid for where the 529 does not. And if you don't use that money for anything else, can you turn this into a pension? The 529, no. With the option B, once again, you can turn it into a pension for yourself, for your child, or whatever you choose to do. You hear me talk a lot about never losing money. I like to follow Warren Buffett's rule. There are two rules when it comes to investing. First rule, never lose money. Second rule, always see rule number one, never lose money. And what that investment strategy does is shown in this chart. This is from 1998 to 2017. The first line is your money compounding at 2%. That means it doubles every 36 years. So you see how that turns out not too well. The next line is the actual S&P 500, what the S&P 500 has done with the ups and downs and vagaries of the market. So year after year, if you give it enough time, you're going to do okay. But what if you were going to college or your child's education was due some of the down years? Then you'd have trouble. Here is what's called indexing, where if the market goes up, you make money, but if it falls, you don't lose any money. The cap in this example is 12.5%. So when the market goes up 10, you make 10. 12.5, you make 12.5. Goes up 15, you make 12.5, but you never lose money. And you see that by never losing money, you're way ahead of the game when it comes to just plain dabbling in the market, staying directly in the S&P 500. Now, how is financial aid calculated? You have COA, which is cost of attendance, what the college actually costs. Then you have minus your EFC, or expected family contribution. That equals what your need is. So you take your cost of attendance, what they expect you to pay, your family contribution, and that's going to end up what your need is being. This is what your financial aid is based on. So it's grants, free government money, scholarships, free school money, work study, which means the student works on campus to pay for school, and then you have loans, student loans and parents' loans. So why is EFC important? Now, EFC, expected family contributions, they're three little words, but it's a major thing here. Expected family contributions, how much money you're expected to pay. So EFC represents what you will have to pay out of pocket before getting any financial aid. If your EFC is greater than the cost of college you attend, you won't qualify for any financial aid. The lower your EFC, the more financial aid you may qualify for. What affects my EFC, or expected family contribution? Age of parents, size of your family, number of children in college, parents' income. What we mean by this is if you're a business owner, you're 1099, if you're an employee, you're W-2. Your parents' assets, also the child's income and assets, are all assessed. Here's an example of EFC, or expected family contribution penalties. So we have in the asset column, your income, home equity, and so forth. Let's go through this. So income, $100,000 income. That's calculated at a 20% penalty. So your calculated EFC there, $20,000. Home equity, if you have $100,000 in equity of your home, that's issued at about 5.64%, which is the same as your 529, or about 6%. So savings and checking, you have $100,000. That's at 5.64% also. Now you have your 529 plan. Once again, 5.64. That's $50,000. That's another $28.20. Then you have your 401k contributions. That's at about 18%, well 15%. That's $1,800. Then you have your student savings. So if your child has saved $10,000 working hard for college, they're penalizing them at 20% of that. Not really fair in my opinion. So with all these numbers, your total expected family contribution would be $37,900. The effect of our EFC optimization, or expected family contribution optimization. So we have the cost of attendance at school. Baseline, $35,000. As an example we just went over, if your EFC is $37,900, what does that mean? That means your expected family contribution is $37,900. Cost of attendance is $35,000. You need zero money, so there's no financial aid for you. Over 4 years, you need zero, you get zero, your total free money is zero. If you work with us and optimize it, that same cost of attendance is $35,000. Your EFC would drop from $37,900 down to $20,000 if we optimize it. Now, what's your need? $15,000. Now, can we get that full need met? Possibly, but let's say we only get $10,050 of it met. So that's $10,050 every year of student scholarships, student grants that you don't have to pay back, free money. So you multiply that over 4 years, now you're talking about $40,200 in free money over the 4-year college plan. So here we have an example of the effect of the actual versus advertised cost of college. So one of the things we talk about is joining your child with a college that's a high gifting college. So here's an example. Private college, $63,193. Your EFC, or expected family contribution, is $5,000. So your need, $58,193. Big need. But this school meets 100% of the need. So $58,193 is met. So your unmet need at this point is zero. So the school's gifting 88%. So they're gifting $51,381. So loans, work study, whatever the case is that you have to come up with, is $6,812. So when you add your EFC, which is the expected family contribution, to $5,000 plus the $6,812, cost to you, parents and students combined, $11,812. Look at public college. Cost is a third, $21,000. Okay, EFT still the same. Expected family contribution, $5,000. So your actual need now is $16,019. Now they're not going to meet 100%; they'll meet 70% of the need. So now 11,213 is what they'll meet. So unmet need is now 4816. Schools gifting 30%, so 3364. So you have $5,000 from your EFC that you have to pay. Your unmet need is 4806 that you have to pay. Loans, work study, whatever the case is, it's how you come up with it. Grandparents, $7,849. So your cost out of pocket is $17,655 on a school that's $21,000 versus on a private college, your cost out of pocket is $11,812 with a school that the actual cost is $63,193. It's not always looking at the cheapest cost school as an advertised price up front, but what the actual cost is in the end after we help you put everything together. What is our process? We work together to identify and gather the information pertinent to your case. We provide you with a customized plan of strategies and opportunities that best fit your need. We help you implement your preferred strategies and review the financial impacts on your college cost. College Smart Strategies, the simple three-step approach to college affordability. We never charge you any money. We never charge you a fee. Make an appointment. We'll be more than happy to meet with you and go over your options.